Edu-Magicians, welcome to the Edu-Magic Podcast with your host, Dr. Sam Fesich. Dr. Sam is a professor of education, author of Edu-Magic, and a pumpkin spice latte fan. This podcast is designed for pre-service teachers. Remember, friends, teaching doesn't begin at graduation, but during that first class at 8 a.m. Let's get this party started.
I'm Casey Bell from the Google Teacher Podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Hey Edu-Magicians, it's Sam, and before we start into this episode, I want to share with you about an amazing resource. It's called the Educator Candidate Member Portal. AAEE provides you with resources such as virtual job fairs, a job board, interview tips and prep, resume building, webinars. You can even get a copy of the Job Search Handbook digitally. So head on over to aaee.org and create your free Educator Candidate Member account today. Hello, Edu-Magicians, and welcome back to another episode of the Edu-Magic Podcast. Today, I have with me Allie, but you might know her over on Instagram, Tech About Math. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been kind of obsessed with her Instagram feed for quite a while. Franny Lou, yes, is very cute and adorable, but with her account, I just see so much positivity, so much love to support teachers and students all around. So, Allie, welcome to the show. I'm pumped to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It is so great to be here. I appreciate you reaching out.
And I appreciate you, my friend. So during this episode, Allie is going to be sharing some digital organization tools because as she proclaims in her bio, she is obsessed with digital organization, and that is exactly what she's sharing about with us today. But her day job is a 5th grade math teacher and 4th grade math and SEL. So today she's going to be sharing with us some tips and tricks when it comes to getting organized digitally. Before we hop into that, though, Allie, can you please share with us your teaching journey? What brought you into education and what keeps you here in this wonderful world of education?
Yeah, well, I've always knew I wanted to be in the field of education. My mom was a one-to-one aide, so it kind of like was in the family. And so I just always knew I wanted to be a teacher. And then when I went to college, I like found this love of math that I had lost in my middle school years, to high school years. And so then I was like, wait, kids should love math and like the conceptual understanding of math. Like it's actually like fun for me now. Like when I had lost the love, I was like, no, I need to teach kids to love math again. So that's how I got into math. Yeah. So that's how I got into my math. And then with education, I had to choose the academic major. So of course I chose math with my education degree. And then elementary school, I always just, I love working with kids. Like I've always babysat, did like anything I could to like volunteer with kids and things like that. So I've always loved to work around kids. So I was like, got it. Elementary school is what I want to do. And then I originally taught middle school for a while. I taught 6th and 7th grade math. And then now I worked my way down to elementary school. So now I'm at 4th grade as of now.
Nice. That's cool. I like that journey. And I love your passion for bringing math back to have this positive vibe around it. And I think it's interesting that you mentioned, you kind of lost the love for math in middle school. And I think that's interesting to point out because research shows that girls, in math and science, the numbers start to drop starting in middle school. So that's really interesting. And I'm glad you got back into math and you're bringing us all this great stuff that you have because, you're all about math, but you're also all about digital organization. Yeah. And let's start talking digital organization. I know that you remember from your future teacher days before you were a 4th grade math teacher. Mm-hmm. That you got stuff. And that stuff could have been like worksheets and activities, books and manipulatives, all the things that people like send to you or give you, or, you go to a yard sale, give me all the things, I'm a teacher. I need it all. What do we do with all the stuff? What do we do with all the stuff, Allie? I need to know.
Well, I have, to be honest with you, my physical space is chaotic. like my brain, but my digital space is so organized, and like I know where everything is on my computer because I also love technology, hence tech
Yes.
nap. But so my digital space is so organized, and like I know where everything is. My physical space I'm working on, but I kind of have like a system that I've developed since I started teaching like 7 years ago. And it kind of just helps. Like what I kind of just have to have the buckets. I have like folders and folders and folders, but I have like major like buckets that I know things belong in. So like, for example, if I get like something on Teachers Pay Teachers for like certain grade level, I'll have it in my activities bucket. And then in my activities bucket, I have it broken down by grade. So it's
Oh.
definitely like inception of folders, I guess you could say, because there's like so many of them. But you kind of just pick up on like how to like what to put the things in as with experience.
So
Start like that.
So what I'm hearing from you is our future teachers, they can create these folders, but don't think of them as folders. Think of them as buckets to put stuff in. And
Yeah.
as we can start like getting more specific with these buckets with practice, with more stuff. So for example, we have like a 5th grade bucket, and that could be where all of our 5th grade stuff goes. But then we start to separate maybe 5th grade science, 5th grade social studies, 5th grade math.
Yeah. So I kind of have like a system where I have like I have 6 folders that I'm going to pull up my desktop so I can like,
Yeah, please
get this
do.
correct. So I have like major folders in my school drive, right? So I have folders for each school year, and that's like student specific, like the data, the exit tickets, this and that I have to keep. That's school year specific.
Right.
And then I have a bucket for assessments. So it's like where I put all like questions I can pull, question banks I can pull from, old assessments, things like that.
That's a good idea.
That's a folder because I feel like I'm spending forever looking for questions to put on an exit ticket or put here. And they're all standards aligned. So if you go into my assessments folder, it goes New York State released math exams, 5 NBT1, 5, and then it goes like by the MBT and then the OA, the Common Core standards.
There you go.
That helps me so much.
Then I like that.
Yeah. And then I have a bucket for class decor, and that includes things that I put on the students' desks, like reference charts and things like that, because that kind of is decor. It's like a useful tool for them because that's something I'm always doing every year. I have a data folder for like master copies of my data spreadsheets from year to year. I have master copies. So again, that is like fluency, master copies, beginning of the year activities that I do, behavior management. Like if I create a tracker for kids, that goes in there. Basically any master copy, rubrics, social emotional stuff, things like that. I have one folder for parent engagement. So any type of parent engagement like workshop that I do gets dropped in there. And then of course, like I said, these are my major buckets. And then within these buckets are little subfolders that house like the specific parent engagement, like on growth mindset or on how to use Google Classroom, whatever the parent engagement might be.
Sure.
And then I have seasonal activities. And then that's it. Those are my major buckets.
I love the buckets for assessments and parent activity, parent engagement. And of course, everybody has to have their seasonal stuff. I think that's such a neat way to organize that all the digital content that you're getting, whether it's from Teachers Pay Teachers, Pinterest, or a simple Google search. But are there any tips that you have? Because I know whenever we search for, I don't know, adding activities on Google or on Teachers Pay Teachers or wherever, there's going to be some awesome stuff and there's going to be some wah-wah stuff. So how do we get rid of the wah-wah and like get like the great stuff that we want to give to our kids, make sure that it's quality content that we're giving to them as we're collecting from this digital space?
Yeah, well, definitely don't download everything. I once a week, I go to my downloads folder and I purge my downloads folder. And if it's something that should be organized into someplace I want to keep, I drag it to whatever folder it should be in. But like once a week I do that. Or if you can do it every time you download something, that'd be better. I just kind of like let it sit. I'm a good bulk worker, so I like to do it all at once.
Sure.
But, so I just like purge my download folder, and then I only keep what I know works. If it doesn't work, I don't need to keep it. Like if it's an activity that I tried and it was like not good, maybe I'll throw it in like a folder, like an extra resources folder where like I can maybe try it again one day, but not today.
Right.
So that's how I kind of like make sure I purge that downloads folder, because you don't want to overwhelm your computer or yourself with too much. Too much is sometimes not good, as like less is more kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we feel like that downloads folder, like, there's so much
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I thank you for giving us permission to like trash it or
Yeah,
get rid of it if it's not working. And that's okay.
definitely.
I think sometimes as teachers, like, but I might need it one day in the future, I might need this one activity.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
let go of it. Let go of
I
it.
was that teacher. Oh my gosh.
Me
I have to tell you,
too.
the amount of physical stuff that I had in my classroom, I am so thankful. When I transferred to elementary school, I got a new co-teacher because I moved schools, obviously.
Mhm.
And she's the queen of throwing stuff out. And I am so thankful for her teaching me that because I was such a hoarder. Like I hoarded everything. I was teaching just math and I had like my literacy textbooks from my master's degree. And I'm like, I don't teach literacy and I don't think I ever will now at this point in my life, at this point in my career. I mean, you never know, but I just was like, if I have to teach literacy or if I have to teach another grade, chances are the curriculum will change before I use the stuff that I actually have.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, how many times is the curriculum, the standards, all that stuff? So it will be there when you need it. But
Yes.
if you don't need it, don't keep it.
I thank you so much for saying that and giving us permission to get rid of the stuff. Now, you mentioned about digital folders. Are there any other tech tools that you suggest for digital organization?
I definitely use Google Drive like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I recently started doing, again, you pick up as you go, I started starring the folders of my current unit in my Google Drive because, like, when you have folders and folders and folders, getting to that one thing you need can be so overwhelming because you're clicking and clicking and clicking. But
Yes.
my current chapter is always starred, and my grade 4 team, like with that I share with my colleagues, that's starred. So on Google Drive, if you go to your starred folders, those are the only folders that are there. And it
Oh,
lessens the
that's smart.
overwhelm of like clicking to go into this folder, into this folder, into this folder. Because I do have, like I said, I have school year folders. So it's like school year 2020, 2021. And then it has like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then like all of the lessons within those chapters. So it's like, it can be overwhelming to like search for things at certain times. So
Yeah.
star your current unit and that'll help you to save some time searching for whatever it is you're looking for.
That's such a smart hack. Do you have any other really cool hacks to either use digital resources and tools, like Google Drive or anything else that you use to store all your content?
I also number my folders in Google
Tell
Drive.
me more about this.
So let's say I use one folder all the time, every single day. I make it number 1. And then I like the next folder I use, number 2, number 3. And then when you sort it A to Z by name, then your number 1, 2, 3, 4, the folders go in the order you want them to go in, not just alphabetical order.
Oh, I love that. I need to do that now. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have my desktop.
You're welcome.
Google Drive. You're going to spend hours organizing your desktop after all of this.
I know, right? That's awesome. I love that. Thank you. So these are great tips for organization when it comes to like when we have content to work with our future students or work within student teaching or field work. But what about content when it comes to college courses? We get like study guides and handouts, PowerPoints, links, all the things. Where's a good spot where we can organize all that stuff? So when it comes to either taking midterms or taking a test, or even like for some of our ed classes, we might want to use some of these things later on in our college career. So what are some tips for organizing that type of content? It's kind of different, kind of the same. I don't know. What are you feeling on that?
I definitely organize by class, obviously. So every class has a folder or a bucket. And then by type of assignment, or if it's like a project and it's a bunch of pieces in the project, make a folder. Like I use folders to like keep myself all together, digital folders, because like I need to just throw things in there that I need. I definitely, if you have an iPad, if you're lucky enough to have an iPad and Apple Pencil, definitely I use Good Notes to take notes, and then you can download. There's a whole bunch of free, like if you like Google free notebooks with tabs, so you can make each class a notebook and make each tab something. If you like to handwrite your notes, that is a great way to stay organized in college. I definitely use folders to sort by class, and then I do it every semester. So each semester when I was in college had a folder, and then folders and folders and folders again. So it was like the semester, and then it was the classes, and then it broke down to either notes for the class, or like if you create study guides for your own class, if your teacher gives you study guides, you have that. And definitely just categorize what you think you'll use more versus what is a good reference to have in case you need it. Definitely think about the major categories of your classes. And then maybe at the end of the year, you can put like whatever like obviously this is for future educators. So you can sort your college classes by subject. So I remember when I was in college, I don't know if it's still like this, but when I was in college, like I had to take a social studies method, a science method, all that stuff. So you can start your teaching buckets with your college classes buckets, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. I like that. I think that's a great strategy. I didn't know about the Apple Pencil, and you can make your own digital notebooks, I guess, with tabs and stuff. That's really cool. I like that. Very cool. Now, Allie, I know you dropped a lot of great tips and hacks for digital organization. Is there anything else you want to share with my audience?
If they find that they're going to the same websites every day, what I do is I have on my bookmarks bar, I have a daily essentials folder, and I just right click, open all tabs, and then it opens all the tabs that I use regularly, like my email, my Google Drive, my OneDrive, my work email, whatever it might be that I open daily, my attendance tracker, my exit ticket tracker. I know it's a lot of tabs, but that's the teacher life. So get used to that. So I have all of my daily essentials in one folder, and then I just right click, open all the folders. So that is definitely, it's not really I guess it kind of is organization. You're organizing your bookmarks. Yeah. So then there's another organization tip for you.
Well, I got things I need to do, and I have a feeling a lot of my listeners are going to be like pausing this episode and reorganizing their stuff. I'm going to put some numbers on some folders, making a daily essentials folder on my Chrome browser. I love this. This is fantastic. Allie, thank you so much. So I know my audience is going to want to connect with you and see all the awesome stuff that you have out on your Instagram with Tech About Math. And they're also going to want to meet Franny Lou. So where can we connect with you and check out your awesome dog?
You can definitely follow me on Instagram. It's Tech About Math. That's TECH About Math. And I also do have a YouTube channel with like quick little tutorials that was born because of COVID, because I was helping my colleagues out with different tech tips. So you can follow me on YouTube. And I also have my website, techaboutmath.com, and you can subscribe. I send out a weekly update with tech tips and tricks for digital organization and for your integrating math into your classroom. So you can check me out there.
Beautiful. And I'll post all those links on our show notes. Allie, thank you so much for today. This was awesome. All right, friends, remember, head on over to sfessage.com/podcast. There you will find all the show notes for today's episode, including those awesome links that Allie just dropped. Until then, friends, you have the EduMagic within you.
And there you have it, EduMagicians. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends. For more EduMagic, check out sfessage.com and follow Dr. Sam on Twitter and Instagram @sfessage. Until next time, you have the EduMagic within you.